Welcome to the behind the scenes editing video. I'm going to show you the tricks and traps that I use to make the ultimate DOOMTuber edit happen, and it has some really cool tech that I really want to show. I'm excited about it. So first of all, we have almost 86 different items over here. They are not all used, most are. I have everything segmented into pictures of everyone, I have their names, and I have M5, map, ending, beginning, all those sort of things segmented out. Because let's take a look here. Let's look at the intro first. I took the opening from Doom 2016, where it has this sequence where you wake up and have the Slayer mark. We used authorization Olivia Pierce under here and a line unto us, not only unto you. And then we have the rip and tear from each person that sent it in, and I melded it together. Everyone sent in rip and tear as a voice track, and then I cut up each one to where every person has a word.
Rip and tear. Rip and tear. Rip and tear.
Until it is done. Fade out right into the first map. So let's talk about what it takes to make a map. You have to consider when you're working with 10 different people, 26 different segments, the idea is that we are all in the same room, jumping in and out of the chair, or we're the same person playing the map. So there's a lot of things that go into it that you may not originally think of. So first of all, let's do the basics. You have my segment here. All right, over here. Good. Now, when we get to the ending, notice something. Check this out. Watch it flow into BMD. There's a secret with more action behind it. Switch to a segment, and now he's live. So what I actually had to do, and what we all actually had to do, at the end of each segment, let me see if I can drag this out, if it'll let me do that a little better. There we go. If you'll notice, watch. I hung on to the ending right there. And I actually cut out the part to where I made the save game file, which we then transferred to each other to pick up right where they left off. How did we pick up where they left off? We used a concept that is called a breakpoint. A breakpoint is something where you can look at a wall, just like this, look at a door, something static to where the next person can pick up with that save file, leave a little buffer zone from the end and the beginning so I can splice the two pieces of footage together. I knew I'd forget something, Allstin from the future here, as I am editing. We were talking about breakpoints and static things. There's one point in the run that was a little bit of a tricky part, and I welcome that challenge. We had to transition from the chainsaw. Have you noticed the chainsaw has moving blades, so its sprite is not static, but we had to make the transition work out both in visual and in sound. I think it went pretty well. Spud and Lightning Bolt Forever both did really good segments here and really made things easy.
All right.
Not too bad. So just another thing I wanted to go ahead. We're back to the original video in 3, 2, 1, go. See what I mean? And that is how we're able to go behind it. Just like that, transition super smoothly. Now to do that, we used all the same version of the source port, PR Boom Plus. We used the same config file that Dwarfs put together so we could really try to get everyone's screen looking as close as possible in 1080p 60 or 720p 60 brought up to 1080, which actually worked, I guess due to the nature of Doom and retro style graphics. But in addition to the visuals and the breakpoints and the save files, transferring save files, that's how we get that point done. You also have to consider a few different things. Up in the top left-hand corner, if I got the shotgun, you have to consider how fast do you want that text to disappear from the screen. Do you want it to be natural, or do you just want it to go away? So you got to look into that. The next thing you want to look into is the text on the screen. I have each person's name. I have the face over the Doom guy in here. Whenever a person makes their first appearance, the text is on the center names track with a dither dissolve. I use dither dissolve because it looks doomy to me, and I really like it. And I put the name on the center names, and on low names, I actually have these switched around, is the one that goes down to the bottom. Check it out. In none other than the iconic E1M1 hangar low name map designed by Romero. Boom. So we got that down. Now, something else you have to consider that you might overlook is music. If we were to use the in-game music, when we each save and load our files and begin our files from different points, the music would be disjoint. It would be starting and ending in different positions. So for that reason, everyone played without music. No music, just sound. And if they were able to, they recorded a separate file for their voice versus their game so we could further balance and tweak the audio as needed. So one thing, too, we need to look at is the music, as I mentioned. Put a little fade here to go from Authorization Olivia Pierce to @Doomscape. Music was provided by the one and the only Andrew Holschalt. Thank you very much. Something I noticed was that I tried to put MIDI files into HitFilm Express, and it didn't work. The MIDI files don't play nice with it. So what I ended up doing, let's go to the screen for talking. So what I ended up doing was converting the MIDIs to MP3. It made it sound bad, unfortunately. So I thought, well, what if we're not using our own music in the game? Let's just go. I'll talk to Andrew. Let's go see if we can do this. So I got the IDKFA files. We actually didn't use the menu sound that he originally gave me to. And I'm like, all right, let's put this music together, because when these transitions happen, the music needs to stay constant, as if there was never a switch. That was the whole point of the video, was to get everything to feel like one playthrough, despite having 10 people and 26 segments over the course of 3 months. It's wild, man. And when you look at the music, remember we had to put it all together, we had to level it out. And when you go from transition to transition, the music,
through this secret,
perfectly works. Now, once you get to the end of the map, we also had quite a few considerations to think about. Let's drag over to the end of the map. Okay, so I'll let you watch one, and then we'll break down how to create an end map in this format.
And that's it. We are done. So let's
Pay
get
attention
the
to everything.
heck out of here.
The bottom.
We'll move on to nuclear plant.
Okay, so
All
here's
right.
the twist.
So here's how we did it. What we did, each person went to the end screen for just a little bit, and they let it ride out, did their talking, whatever. And so here's what we did. Sorry for all the scrubbing noise. By the way, let me see. We went to nuclear plant. Dwarves recorded us some end files right here of end screens. So what you're actually seeing is the original player's end screen and a pre-recorded end screen melded together to look like one. And this served as a transition for us, because if the original player would transition into the next map, they would be loading up their health and ammo and weapons and not a pistol start. So we had to figure out a way. How can we get around that and still make it look smooth? So what we did was recorded the endpoints. We went from the first person's end screen to the other end screen, keeping in mind you have to make things consistent. On movie sets, they have what they call a continuity person. That's to where they can make sure that from shot to shot, from scene to scene, from camera to camera, that nothing is different than the previous shot. So, for example, this hat is not moved over to a different spot on the table in the next shot of the movie. That it's not a different color cup, that something's not moved in the background. It's what the continuity person is hired onto the movie set for, and that's what we had to do with this in our own way. With the end screen, we put the two together. Something you have to watch for. What's happening on this end screen that's dynamic and changing that you need to watch for? Well, most notably, the "you are here." So what I did was make sure that the original end and the Dwar's end, "you are here," and whatever else lined up. And I tried to make it feel like it was naturally coming out of the game. It may not be perfect, but not jolting or disjointing or anything like that. So when we ended up doing that, we put those together. The reason we used this end scene, like I mentioned, was to make it to where we could meld the two together. So watch this. The end scene goes down. We bring this, we're still on the old end scene, remember. Still on the old end scene. Still on the old. And now we're on Dwars. So how we did it was the screen wipe comes down. Screen wipe comes down. What Doom Guy does when you're loading a level, his pistol's up just a little like this. He dips back down and back up again. So I went in, scrubbed it just like I'm doing now by the frames, and looked at where the screen wipe would go away, line it up right with the pistol, and then transitions right into Dwar starting. Now, it's mostly easy in most of the levels. However, if you look really closely in episode 2, it was hard because you have the guards in the background. They're back here, and I'm up here, and you can slightly see them move. That's probably the trickiest one to at least kind of get right, but we tried our best. And so you can notice that you have, for illustration, normal, screen wipe, transition into the near same frame for the other screen wipe, and then move on. So what you're seeing is several different clips in action, but they're all looking to be one cohesive unit, which was the whole point of the project. So it all works together. It's really exciting. It's really cool. Hey, Edit Allstin here. It's in the dark right now. I was going back to watch this video, and I failed to mention that whenever you go to the transitions like this, you actually have to take the photo of the person and their name, like Big Mac Davis here, and dither dissolve it out to get to the end screen in the rhythm of Doom Guy going away too. You don't want to do it too soon or too late. You want both Doom Guy and the profile picture to go away at the same time. You do the profile picture of Doom Guy too early, too late, you're going to see Doom Guy's face, and it's just going to look a little weird. So let's watch this real quick. What we did, each person went to the end screen for just a little bit, and they let it, so he faded out. All right, back to the original video. I'm just editing, and I noticed that. Again, I'll try not to interrupt you again. Thanks. Okay, music. Let's talk music on the end of the level. Check it out. Let's look at E1 M1 end again. Okay, so we go. I took over here. Started over here. You'll notice I went in and I scrubbed. I may have missed it.
Get the heck out of here.
Check it out.
Get the heck out of here.
Actually, probably need to scrub that over a little bit.
Get the heck out of here.
Yes. Okay. So what we did, I took it closely, scrubbed it through. When BMD or whoever was the player hit that switch, at about when the music transitioned in the game, I put in the beginning or the proper part of the intermission screen. Just like it were a real game.
Move on to...
Let's look at that transition one more time.
So let's get the heck out of here.
There we go.
Move on to...
Same thing happens here. Whenever the screen wipe begins to take place, that is about when the game music switches, so we go right into Imp Song as if we were playing the game. Boom. A lot goes into this kind of thing, and it's been months in the making. We started getting the idea together, I think, late December, and been working on. Let's just back up here. Look at all these splicing and all these different points. We have Doom itself, pictures, low names, center names. In audio, we have the main audio game track, the music track, and if someone else, I don't think this track's used for anything, if someone had audio that was separate. So let's dive in and look at something else. I can't remember everything for all the levels, but one thing of note that I wanted to look at that I think was fun, I think it's on this map. Let's dive in a little deeper and take a look. I believe it's actually the map before. Let's go back just a hair. It's not 9, it is 4. It's 4. Okay, so we have Megasphere here, we have IPD leading us off with this one, switch off to LBF, and Decino wraps it up. Watch this. Let's go right to the ending here. This is where you need to watch. Another thing to consider, which I'm glad he did it this way so I could
Just double check.
put this editing trick in.
Yep, that's all.
He goes to, like I said, I'm glad he did this so we could do a cool editing trick. He goes to check the map and changes the HUD. So at that point, I went by the frame and cut out the pumpkin head right there. Let's see if I can find the picture. Right there, see? Cut out the pumpkin head while he changed the HUD size. And then put it back in when he brought it up by the frame. If you dial into an editor and you dive in, you go really deep, you can change by frame. So I could literally go step by step and pinpoint exactly where I want to go down to the T. So let me see here. We'll back up. We got some different audio here at the very end. Stretch out. Let's see. In the red flashing floor. The audio. There's just a lot to consider and a lot to do, and it's super duper fun. I mean, it's tough. It really is, because a lot of things you're coordinating, but when you put it all together, it's really cool. Let's take a look at the trailer. I did some special tricks with that. I think you're going to like it. So let's go ahead and pull it up here. I'm going to load it up this way. Let's go to the trailer. Here we go. Save those changes. All right. Trailer is up. Let's take a look. Actually, it's the main hit film screen. I made a lot of backups. 89X, X2, final trailer, so on and so forth. But I actually just finished editing this, and I know I have a little something in my throat from recording, but that's okay. So the editing with this here, we start off with the menu, did a voice track, faded out, and something very, very important in my editing and what I like to do. Okay, let's see if we can get that out of me. Okay, is I'm a musician. I play guitar. Ibanez back there, drums when I can, and I try to line up my edits with the music because I feel like it gives you much more impact. So for that reason, with some friends, all lined up on the first beat there. Okay, there's a lot of thought process that went into this. I'm very excited to talk about it. I'm nerding out on you right now, but that's okay. So this song, if we just listen to it, I'm gonna take it away here. I'm gonna snap it at the main beats that you need to be focusing on. Ready? Allstin. There. Wow, I just totally took off the wrong track, didn't I? That's okay. There we go. 1, 2, second beat. 3, 4. Now here's where it picks up. Watch. 5. So we're going to have pretty much 8 beats here. And so this is kind of an issue. 8. So we have that. We have 10 people, but 8 beats. So what do? Well, let's figure this out. If we want to line up everybody on the beat, we have 10 and 8. I went ahead and thought, all right, well, let's do it this way. Allstin, this guy does this stuff. Big Mac Davis, he does this other stuff. Lightning Bolt Forever, he's known for this kind of thing. So I thought about describing each person and going over what I thought a little bit about them. But then I thought, no, that's too slow paced. When you have a trailer, you want to make it fast, quick, in your pace. Most professional promos are cut at 30 or 60 seconds or 45, just due to the way that broadcast media works. So I did 45, and I thought, no, that's going to be too slow. It just doesn't have that hype feel to it. It doesn't have that built-up aggression and just tenseness. You know what I mean? So we changed it. Allstin, 2, 3, 4. Big Mac Davis, 3, 4. Lightning Bolt Forever. But see where I'm going? After we go 4 beats, as per typical music, I cut the time in half. So instead of doing 1, 2, 3, 4, we did 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. So 1, 2, 3, 4. C-No, the IPD, Icarus, and see how I went 1, 2, I cut it in half. This let me fit everyone in. This let me build up the hype, and this also let me fit in talking about Andrew Holschult's IDKFA. All within the beats that we wanted to. And it lined up, and it worked out. This next part, I rigged this one up. It's not lined up as well as I would have liked it to be. I worked on the trailer for 1 day worth. If I would have had a little more time, I may have done a little bit different to it. But we have literally, 11 tracks. I put in everyone over top of everything to play at the same time. I wanted to show everyone individually, give them their shout out, give them their time, even though it is unfortunate that some are shorter than others due to the nature of it. And then I wanted to put us all together. I wanted to make it come onto the screen suddenly. I didn't want to waste time and draw it out.
26.
Suddenly. I want you to see all these together and go, wow, 10 people on the screen, all each in their respective Doom games. Cool. That's what you go for when you're trying to design something like this. You want the cool, you want to show off, like, this is what we're doing. This is what we're looking forward to. This is what we've been putting our months of work into. Us in one video. So I don't really get a good preview here because, well, it lags my computer. But what I did was I put the IDKFA Andrews to fade in at this point.
10 of us.
When we all said rip and tear. So let's look at something right here. Hang on. I had everyone send in rip and tear.
Rip and tear until it is done. Rip and tear.
And I took 9 people. So rip and tear 3 times is 9 words. 9 people, 9 words. Took everyone's word, who I maybe felt like this word was this way, this fit with this one, and put it all together. So everyone, 9 people, 9 words, has a part in this rip and tear. And then I went ahead and finished until it is done. So let's take a listen to that. 10 of us in one video. We will
rip and tear. Rip and tear. Rip and tear.
Until it is done. Okay, so we put this all together there until it is done. What we did on the ending. So this song actually, let me back it up here. It goes onward and onward. Until it is done. Up into the next part there on the riff. I wanted to end it on done. Right like that. And I had to go in and move the beat, well, not move the beat, move the music I listened to it and found the end of the beat. It is done. Let's actually isolate that track so we can listen to it by ourselves. Hang on. Here we go. Right there. That ended the beat right there, and that let me go to the end of the song where he begins to fade out. Put the two together. Here we go. I think it's going to play. One more time. We lined it up with me saying done.
Until it is done.
And after that, what we did was took the date, faded up on the screen. You want to have that. I wanted to have that impact at the end. Until it is done. Here's the date. Wait, 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 fade. I've toyed around with some different lengths that I thought might fit. I wanted not too long to drag on forever. You know, see 3:16:20 or 16:3:20 if you're across the pond from me. But I didn't want it to be too short to where you didn't even get any time to look at it at all. You want to have just enough time to see it and sink that in, like March 16th, 2020. All in all, I'm probably forgetting something. This was more of just a quick shoot the video, talk about it. I wanted to make one of these things because I'm excited about some of the tech that goes under the hood in making a video like this. And I wanted to show you and give you a little behind the scenes look as to what goes on. Like I said, hey, follow, subscribe to everyone involved in this project. They all make good stuff. It was all fun. I stream on Twitch myself, jumping right into Doom Eternal Nightmare, training for Ultra Nightmare. I know a bunch of these guys are going to do the same thing. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you've not seen it, please go watch it. Share it with your friends. We put a lot of work into this, and we're excited to show you. My name's Allstin. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video or live stream, whichever you're at. Later.